If memories of a neighborhood restaurant's warm glow aren't enough to draw you in this winter's night, perhaps you'll be seduced by the many other charms of Waterbury, Vermont. Once little more than a gateway off the interstate to the slopes and style of Stowe, Waterbury has come of age. The Ben & Jerry's factory and its popular tour put a prominent pin on the map back in the 1980s. But a little restaurant named after a rather large mushroom made Waterbury a foodie destination in 2005.
I think a lot of it has to do with Hen of the Wood being such a huge part of the community. You know, people know us by name, and you know, we're doing things kind of as a community together, and I think it's really kind of elevated it.
Antonio Rentas is the chef de cuisine at the critically acclaimed restaurant, founded by multiple James Beard nominee Eric Warnstedt, who helped usher in the farm-to-table movement.
Summer's a really fun time around here, pretty beautiful, and that's kind of like when Vermont's produce and stuff is at its full bounty. All cheeses are available, and that's like, for me, is like one of the most special things about Vermont is the availability of all the local artisan cheeses, which is pretty phenomenal.
Summer may seem a long way off with Thatcher Brook Falls deep in winter's grip, but it will come, and with it some of the most sought-after seats in Vermont. In the meantime, the warmth can be found in the kitchen and in hearty winter dishes like rabbit tortellini and the always popular Hen of the Wood toast.
At the end of the day, this is down-to-earth, humble food, simple, not fussy, and you know, we're just doing things the right way, I feel like.
Cozy comfort in the woods is the way the owners of Moose Meadow Lodge are doing it, with their meticulously decorated Adirondack-style bed and breakfast. Willie Docto and husband Greg Trulson met at a similar B&B in West Virginia, and 22 years ago left the corporate world to pursue their dream of building their own B&B.
We tried to create an environment so when guests come here, maybe they see something, maybe they experience something or do something that they feel better while they're here than they did before they came.
We're in the business of creating memories, basically. We're not just a bed and breakfast. We want people to come here and enjoy themselves so much that they want to come back.
There are 4 custom-designed and decorated rooms. There's the Creel Room, named for the fishing baskets that adorn the walls, the Sled Room and its collection of vintage sleds, the Duck Room and Mountain View Room, which are just as they sound. And in the summer, there is a treehouse in the woods.
We attract visitors who want to experience glamping, right? Glamorous camping. So that's what we've created here, a glamping destination.
We didn't want to get so big that we couldn't give some really personal attention to the guests that are here.
The atmosphere is warm and welcoming, although some here might feel differently. It is definitely not for those with an aversion to all things taxidermy. Willie and Greg have seen engagements, weddings, and generations of visitors here. They have benefited as Waterbury has blossomed, and the experience is everything they had imagined.
The rewards are numerous. We're still enjoying it, and we've been doing it for over 20 years now.
The work involved was more than we expected, but the enjoyment was even more than we expected.
Nate Johnson has also found the mix of hard work and enjoyment as the head brewer at the Prohibition Pig Brewery. The popular downtown restaurant added the brewery 5 years ago, and Johnson merged an economics degree and a passion for home brewing into a full-time job.
One of the things we pride ourselves on here is making a nice spectrum of different beers, and that we don't focus on any one style. I really pride myself on being able to brew a wide variety of styles. I want people to come in here, have a nice meal, and have whatever style that they appreciate.
The menu is different from the main restaurant, though still with an emphasis on smoked meats, and the vibe is decidedly casual and local. There is a distinguished lineage here. The restaurant is in the original home of the Alchemist Brewery, maker of the legendary Heady Topper, still brewed in Waterbury.
The consumers definitely become a little bit more knowledgeable across the board about different styles, what's new trends, what they like, what their personal preferences are. But also it's nice to have knowledgeable staff, and someone can come in and ask, well, what do you recommend? What do you think? And we have a nice conversation.
A place for food, conversation, and finely crafted beers. Is this paradise or Waterbury? Or maybe a little bit of both?
At the end of the day, when there's people sitting at the bar enjoying a beer that I made after they got done work, It's tough to beat that.
Tough to beat, just like Waterbury itself.
The Prohibition Pig Brewery is still open, as is the Hen of the Wood restaurant. Unfortunately, Moose Meadow Lodge is temporarily closed due to COVID. The lodge hopes to reopen on March 1st. Finally tonight, he went from the classroom to the cider press.